Usually you pay for PPV, but this is free and this is real TV. Grab your cup, pour that drink, roll that blunt, and tell us what you think. Commas come pouring in, women be exposing, man. Fellas start to open up, shorties feeling down to fuck. It's a safe place, spill that tea. That cup is hot, don't let it fall on me. And the stage you keep it funky, might speak for she think. Vibe from the BX, don't even try stink. Eva keep us humble, she consider your feels. And Tati got 3 kids, you better pay them bills. Time is money, make sure your clock is right. Sliding in DMs, you make sure your stock is tight. Ladies, they gonna tell you if you ain't rocking right. I'm telling you, dude, don't end up on top of tonight. It ain't all jokes, get serious too. If I can help what happened to me, not happen to you, it makes it worth it. Let's get drunk on purpose. Start telling stories we would never tell in person. It's real TV.
Welcome to TV.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, I am great. I was just waiting for your request to come on. Everyone tuning in, hit that subscribe button on our YouTube at TV. We're also on Instagram Live through my page and Val's on as well. So you can hear there. If you don't have the Reflex radio app, you can go download that and listen to us live there. Also, after each episode goes to Apple Podcasts and Spotify. If this is your first time, welcome. This is TV. This is where we spill the tea. We just open up a bunch of ladies getting together, giving our perspective on different things happening and different topics. We just keep it real, and we like this time to chill out, vibe, have everyone come vibe with us, grab a drink. I don't have a drink today, unfortunately, trying to dial back. But excited to be here. How are you, Val? How was your day?
Not bad. I actually did some errands. I had to go get my taxes filed. So for the first time like ever, I actually am getting something in return because when you have no dependents, the government doesn't really like you.
I have been paying the last couple of years. I'm like,
Right.
What happened to the years when you was getting like a G back or something a little more than that?
Oh yeah, no, I've never gotten anything back. This is probably the first time that I'm getting a little bit, not a whole lot. It's not going to break the bank, but
Some.
Right. Something is something. I was happy with that. I don't got to pay. Oh my God. So that part, it was like, are you sure? Did you do this right?
Don't get me in trouble. Like,
right.
Are they going to be calling me? Nah.
Right. I'm just putting a message on the bottom for you to pin.
Oh, got you.
And then I'll join in the live as well.
Everyone about to start in a few minutes. You have some time to grab a drink and come back. Today's topic is going to be interesting with marriage.
Alrighty, I'm sending the request now.
Got it.
You look nice, by the way. I love the hair.
Oh, thank you.
Did they do the ampolla?
No. So after you text me,
Okay.
bro, let me just say this. And y'all can hear this on live too, because I'll be tight. So now that I'm in Jersey, it's just not the same, right? So I actually found a lady that I really like. So I went in there and she had someone and I was willing to wait. And she came up to me, she's like, hey, it's gonna be like a while, right? And I don't want you to wait. Everyone's good here. So
this is a salon in Jersey.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Hold on, let me lower it. Yeah, in Jersey. And so she's like, oh, everyone here is good. And I'm like, all right. Like in my head, I'm like, I don't got that much time. So let me just do it. And the guy, his energy, I didn't like it. And he was like rushing. And then I was, you know what? I'm not even going to tell him about the fucking, what is it called?
The ampolla.
Yeah.
Or at least the deep conditioning. Did you deep?
No. So I was already annoyed. And then after he was done, the girl that usually has been doing my hair, she came up to me and she gave me like her personal number and I laughed and then she like chuckled because she already could tell. That was annoying. Sometimes I can't have my expressions on my face.
Yeah.
But I was like, whatever, bro. And in Jersey, it's like for getting my hair done over here, $20 without a tip. And then of course I always tip good. But in Jersey it's $50.
Wait, just for washing?
I'm not even doing rollers. Just yes. Yeah. Yeah.
So you go from straight wash to blowout
Yeah.
for $50.
$50.
Nah.
In Jersey. That's everywhere in Jersey. Like
See,
in
I only go to the Dominicans. I
I
love how Dominicans do my
no
hair.
shit to yeah. There's a Dominican spot in Staten Island. I don't know who's
Mhm.
watching is familiar on Forest that I've always gone to for years. Um, but when I don't want to do the whole fucking travel to go, I found the lady there, so I've been letting her do it. I don't mind it because she does the treatment every time with her, the $50, but it's anywhere in Jersey now. It's $50. No disrespect to anyone that lives in Jersey, but I feel like they don't have experience with women with really curly hair. Um, I don't get it. Yeah, I don't know.
It's time for a new spot. For
Yeah,
real, for real. Like I don't go there no more. Like
yeah.
I wouldn't even
I
go
just
there
like
anymore.
her. Like when she doesn't, literally, my hair lasts 2 weeks when I do
Okay.
it with her.
Okay.
Straight, pinned straight, literally. Um, but yeah, it's a lot. So, and then sometimes I'll do my own, but I just don't have the energy.
I feel you. I get it. I
So
get it.
yeah, you really annoyed me today.
I'm
Uh,
gonna do. I have a whole treatment plan to do tomorrow.
oh yeah.
Yeah, because I'm gonna go curly this week, so it's gonna get washed
Ooh.
out. I just bought a new diffuser. I ordered this Lust Brands. I'm not sponsored, but Lust Brands.
If you want to fuck her though, you could.
I found it on Instagram. I'm such a sucker with Instagram stuff. I buy everything, but
Bro, if you got on TikTok, you'll be buying everything there.
I am
Oh,
not gonna do. It's
they
just so
really
bad.
do have some good ass recommendations.
Yeah, no, the Lust Brands is probably on TikTok too, but so I found it. It's a non-paraben, no sulfate free wash. It specializes for curls to vitalize your curls.
Yeah.
Um, and since I have decent wavy hair, I'm not like really curly, but I'm gonna do a treatment tomorrow, deep conditioning and defuse my hair, and see how that comes out. So I'll spend some time doing it myself, and then go
Hmm,
curly for the rest of the week.
that sounds nice and relaxing.
Yeah.
True.
Yeah, I plan on doing self-care, my own self-care, I should say. I have my little uh I have a wax for because I'm gonna do my brows. I gotta do that. And then I'm going to do a little pedicure. I have a spa little thing in the house with Epsom salt, lavender Epsom salt. I have a whole plan tomorrow. It's gonna be
Sounds
really
like
nice, very relaxing.
myself
I
and
just gotta
I.
buy some wine.
That sounds good. Sounds like what kind of day and I need.
Yeah, yeah.
Hello, everybody tuning in. Please share the live. We're on live on YouTube. Go hop to the YouTube if you want to see it. And Val
You want
has
to
it
go on
open.
the TV
No,
one
because
or yours?
it's fine. Yeah,
Okay.
on the and so today's topic is: are you gonna say I do?
Yeah, would
Marriage
you say
and
I do?
relation. In general, like I feel like not as many people are getting married now like before, right? We don't have the couples like our grandparents together for like 50 plus years. You don't even see that anymore. Um, and thoughts on that. So
The
anyone listening,
idea
call
of
in numbers on the
marriage.
screen. Idea of marriage. Yeah. It's
Yeah.
because like I think about this, like I want to be married, right? I don't want like
Do
a
you?
big wedding. I want something intimate. I do. I want to be married. I feel like people that take relationships serious want a marriage, right? They want that one person they want to live with for the rest of their life till what is it? Till death do us part. Uh and you know, I think that it's just not there for anyone anymore. Like that thought of like,
I
oh,
don't
this
think it's not there for anyone anymore, but there's also no value in it as it used to be. Like, first of all, thinking about it from a man's perspective, what's the point for them? Why? I think they lose a lot if it doesn't work out. And then
I
also,
think that
with females, it's just another. It's a certain level of expectations that get elevated, and when it doesn't deliver, your whole life changes. So I don't know. With the way the divorce rate is, and I don't know. For me, I'm not a big believer in marriage. Not saying I'm against it. I'm just not for it either. If that makes sense.
I get it. Why not for it? You know what it is too? That like I feel like people treat a marriage like a relationship. Like when something's wrong, they're like easy to get out the door. Marriage don't work like that. Like there's no like, oh, I want this today, gone tomorrow. No, like, are you taking this
Right.
serious or are you not? And I feel that a lot of people now do not take it seriously
I
at
agree.
all. Like it takes work. It is not a walk in the park all the time. Like it takes
It's
work.
it's definitely a job to stay happily married. One of the things that I think, and this is with any relationship, not just marriage, but couples tend to forget what got them that person in the first place. They tend to lose that
Yep.
drive. Like you stop dating, you
Yep.
stop being excited about seeing each other, you stop um, making that person special. Everything you did while you dated, that attention, that affection, that those nights out, those surprises, the things that I want to make sure that you're happy kind of thing dies out
Hmm.
after some time. And that happens with long-term relationships and it happens in marriages, and this is why people find it in somewhere else and infidelity happens, and um m- people don't know how to stay monogamous.
Which is terrible. Like, what's the point of asking someone to marry you then in the first place? Like, I get it, right? I think people fall into a lot of routine, right? You work, your other partner works. Then if you have kids, your schedule is probably crazy, right? But you still have to prioritize your partner. Like, you still
Yeah,
have to sacrifice that little bit of sleep that you probably want right at that moment. But you still have someone that you're with. They still need to feel like they are, cared for or they're wanted. Because that I feel like that's what happens when someone starts to feel like they're not wanted. They start looking somewhere else.
let's see, that's just the thing. Men don't want to be wanted, they want to be needed.
Oh, well, that's the word. Yes, you said it right, Well, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And that's
Men thrive off of being needed.
yeah, it's part of being able to provide, it's part of being able to lead. That's their dynamic in their role. And when we were talking about gender roles and
Yeah,
relationships, that's one of the things that drives them. They want to feel needed rather than wanted. And I think that's one of my biggest issues. I don't know how to need a man. I want them, but I don't need you. And that's one of
that's
the things
probably
that
for
holds me
me
back.
too.
Yeah.
But yeah, like even if it's simple as, oh, can you open this for me? Can you get this for me? Even though you can do it yourself, but you know that you have to ask them because
I have a
then
hard time with that.
they're gonna feel better about themselves. Oh, can you go to the store and get me this? Can you rub my back? Can you do something? Just the need of like, oh yeah, oh she needs me to do this. Yes, like
Yeah. And
I really
that's
don't.
one
But
of my
hey,
issues.
okay,
But I think that's the
yeah,
biggest thing. It's men want to feel needed. And then the
exactly.
idea of monogamy, being tied to one person for the rest of your life in marriage, and it's not an easy decision to make. And then when you do
But
find
I
that
like that
person,
idea. For
it's
me,
nice,
I
sure,
like
but
that
I'm not
idea.
saying it's a bad idea. I'm just saying it's not an easy thing to do,
Yeah,
especially with how available it is to get other people. I mean, it's just the reality is just easy to
yeah. And I
women are
was
easy.
actually just having a conversation with someone, and when they brought it up, like how they feel social media has affected this in a really bad way of
Hmm.
how marriages used to be to how it is now, right?
Yeah,
That easy access or easy influence of so much that is out there, right? And you're seeing all this on social media, but you have to remember that a lot of people on social media aren't who they're showing to be in real life. So
yep,
what are you falling for? You know,
an image.
an image,
That's what they're.
exactly.
It's just an image. I mean, do you think so? Do you think the concept of marriage is an outdated concept?
I don't think so. I think that it's not as um what's the word I'm looking for? As important as before, but I think it's still there for some people, not everybody. Maybe some people feel like it's outdated, and then there's others not, like the hopeless romantics. Like, oh yeah, hopefully someday I'll marry someone, and that'll be my forever.
Hopefully, I mean, it's
Who knows?
maybe.
Um, you know,
I don't know. I
and
think it's very much an outdated concept. Not impossible to happen. I think that I think a lot of women are more obsessed with saying they're married or having that big wedding than actually working in and developing your marriage and making sure it stays successful. Um, because the
I can see
dynamics
that.
and the
Some women,
expectations change
I
after you
can
get
see that.
married.
Yeah, I can see that. Some
Yeah.
women, or
Yeah,
like
I'm sure. Not all.
infatuated with having a ring and showing it off. Like, of course,
Yeah.
like I want to be able to show off a ring one day. But to be like overly obsessed about it, no.
I've honestly never been that kid. Like, how young little girls um,
Dream
imagine their
about.
wedding
Yeah,
day and they're,
yeah.
walking down the aisle and all this crap. That was never me for some reason. It wasn't something I ever even dreamed or imagined.
Never.
Like, no, I don't know. It wasn't a fascination for me.
Hmm.
I don't know why.
I wouldn't say it was a big part of me, but I have thought about it. Like, what would my
I
dress
can't.
be like? What kind of theme would I have? Like things like that.
Okay. I mean, I know a lot of women who do have thought about it, think about it,
Yeah.
and as we get older, for some girls, some women feel like more desperate about it because they're getting older. In my as growing up, it wasn't the something I thought about at all. Maybe because my upbringing, where I was taught to be more independent, and and how I was raised was being a strong female. I wouldn't need
Mhm.
anybody for anybody, and that's
Same.
again one of my issues. But
Mhm.
it's just I think that a lot of young ladies or young women, especially as they get older, it becomes more of a desperation. Like, would you ever propose to a man?
Absolutely not. No offense to any woman that would ask a man to marry. Kudos to you. Shout out to y'all. Um, for me personally, I cannot. I could never. No, and
Yeah.
that's just because like a part of me is still old school, right? Like
Hmm.
just growing up a certain way, and almost similar to you, where I was shown to be like independent. You don't need any man for anything. You got to do it yourself. Blah blah blah. Um, but I think too, what people don't realize is that a part of your childhood really plays a part in your adulthood, right?
Hmm.
And they always say like your dad is supposed to be, a girl's first love, and they're gonna show you how you're supposed to be treated from a man. And I didn't,
But the dads are
I
teaching
didn't
their
necessarily
daughters to be stronger women,
that now some men,
right?
um, I didn't necessarily have that, right?
Okay.
So but growing up and I'm really close to my brothers and how they treat women, it's like, no, I want to be catered to. Like I'm tired of being the one catering. Like spoil me. You know what I mean? Like go down on your knee. I'm not.
Yeah, there's no, and for me, again, I'm not, no shade to any woman who has done it. I'm sure it's
Yeah.
successful for you. It works fine. I mean, if that's your dynamic, but I don't think I would ever
No.
sit there and propose to a man.
No.
If a man wants you, he's going to do it, and if he
I,
doesn't, he doesn't. Like, um,
the only
yes,
time I'll ever
I
go
do
down
believe
on one
in some
knee is if
some
I was
stages of gender roles.
uh but real quick, I think the only time I would go down on one knee would be if I was with a woman. That's
So
it.
if you was with, so in the scenario when you're with a woman, do you play the
I'm
more
more
dominant
dominant.
role, or are you
More
the
dominant.
more feminine role?
More dominant, depending on the other woman, but majority of the time I'm more dominant.
So
Um,
are you normally attracted to more effeminate women, or like
to
do you
both.
date dykes and things like
No,
that?
to both. Yeah,
Both?
studs. Yeah. So I was engaged once in my life. Um, funny, funny story. Who knows? Probably get shit for this, but whatever. This is why we're here, right? Uh, so a long time ago, I was young. I was with this person from 2008 to 2013. Um, she was older and I fell quickly. I was only like 20 at the time,
Hmm.
21, something like that. I fell quickly. Um, and I never been a type of person to judge, right? Like or like how much money you have or your current situation because I feel like things change in people's lives, right? And whenever I meet them, who knows what's going on, right? There's always a reason behind whatever, if you know what I mean. Like
Right.
I'm not gonna judge you. So at the time, she was working or in between jobs, some shit like that, and she couldn't. I didn't know that this was gonna happen, but she couldn't afford like a really expensive ring, and things were like amazing, so amazing that it was hard to believe, but it was great at the moment. And she asked me to marry her in front of her whole family.
Really?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
With some kind of ring. I don't know from where. But again, I don't judge. I'm just saying, like, I'm not, whatever.
Does it
And
matter to you the type of ring if you was to get married? And would you be comfortable with the man or female proposing going forward now that you're older? Like, let's say, I don't know, he bought a $10,000 ring versus a promise ring that has like just thread on it or something. Like, I don't
um,
know, what is this?
I think,
Or ring pop, imagine.
yo, a ring pop. Nah, that's wild.
It could
Wild.
be romantic.
That was definitely the wrong button.
Hey yo, what the fuck?
No ring pop.
Yo,
Um,
that is hilarious.
I think 10,000 is ridiculous, though. I think that's way too much for a ring. Now that I'm older and I have gone through so many things, for me now, the way I look at it is like I know my worth, right? I don't need the most fucking expensive ring. I don't. But a nice ring that doesn't need to cost that much to show, like, you know what? Like, I took the time out to actually look at different things for you. This is solely for you. And this is going to show you, like, I'm really serious about wanting you to be with you the rest of my life. So, no ring pop, but no 10K ring either, and something in between. Uh, it's just I've learned my worth now, right? Like I'm worth something, not no 99-cent shit.
I
So
believe the general rule of thumb is, I think, a third of your annual salary, if I
is
remember
that really?
correctly. Yeah.
Oh, anyone on here that is engaged or been engaged, please share your stories. Um, Inbox us. Have you gotten any rings that you hated? Did you even say you hated it? Like, I would like to know that. Or
I
just
don't
keep
think
it
anyone
quiet.
would ever say they hated it. I'm pretty sure there's probably people who maybe felt uncomfortable when they were proposed to and knew they didn't really want to be with them, but you're in front of everyone. And so you say yes, but not intending to really say yes. And now you're stuck there and then
Yo,
have to deal with that. Imagine
imagine.
that.
No,
That would suck. That would be so
no.
uncomfortable. If, like, if someone proposed to me that I know I didn't want to marry,
No.
and it's in front of everyone, and
Would
now
you
I
say
feel
yes still?
obligated to say yes.
You would
What?
say yes still?
I would feel obligated to say yes.
Mm.
Then I would let some
Then
time
when I was
pass
gonna say no.
and privately discuss how I really feel
Uh-huh.
and give the ring back. I'm not keeping the ring. I would never.
That's
I don't
hard.
think I could. I don't think I would ever want to embarrass someone in front of their whole family and friends if they decided to like do that. But
Yeah.
I also know if I know it wasn't something I was comfortable going through with. But then again, I wouldn't be dating someone I don't see a future with, if that makes sense. So I don't know if it was way too soon. Let's say I'm still starting to get to know him and he's all in and I'm not really there yet. Maybe we can wait and I would have that conversation at a separate time, not in front of everyone. But I would
What's
probably
too
say yes
soon?
out of obligation. Oh, too soon is anything under a year. Too soon is
You
anything
think
under
that's
a
too
year
soon?
because absolutely. Here's why. You meet the pretender. You meet the
That
pretender,
part.
you don't know who this person really is, right?
Yep.
They're being their best part of themselves, but not their whole self. And unless you really can uncover that, some people are very upfront and straightforward with who they are, but there's
Mhm.
still a certain way that it's not everything about them. You got to really get to know each other. You really need to talk about what makes you tick, how
Yeah.
you would raise kids, whether or not if your intent is to date for a reason for future, like if that's where you are
Yeah, you gotta
and
do
you're
it with
looking
intention.
right, exactly. The thing is the conversation about how you're raising kids, certain morals, aspects, where do you see yourself in 10 years? Those things don't get spoken about when you're dating that early. And it
I'm
becomes a
thinking about that
surprise
already. Now
later.
that time.
Yeah, no, I mean at this
Now,
time.
now, now I'm thinking about all that shit up front. Like,
Yeah, no,
no,
there comes a time where you have to have those conversations.
yeah,
Certain parenting styles, that's a problem. If you're gonna have
that
children together,
yo, you have to know that.
you have
Yes,
to talk. You have to communicate
you have to.
because it's going to be tough when you're trying to separate it. But I
100%.
wanted to go back real quick because where when I asked you whether or not you thought marriage is an outdated concept, and I personally think it's completely outdated. The concept of marriage really is a business deal. The whole point of marrying, if like in Game of Thrones, right?
Uh-huh.
People they marry off people for position, for whether it's to gain in people who have money's family.
Uh-huh.
My daughter gets married in because she's going to be taken care of. You have money and it joins the families, or
Okay.
it could be for a political position as well, or money, royalty, or people who have certain standards. That's where marriage comes from. Um, it was never about love. It was always arranged. Your kid is my daughter's same age. Let's bring them together, join our houses, and kind of thing like that. That's
Yeah.
where marriage comes from.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Um, and then that went on for many, many years. I don't know when it became about love because that's where the misconception is. A lot of the times back in our, let's say, grandfathers or great grandfather age, at that point people were marrying very young. Their reach was very local. There was no social media for people to meet all these people. You found someone you liked and you stuck
Yeah.
with that, and you dealt with it, whether for good or bad.
Yeah.
Today's world is very much so different, and I think people um, don't understand that marriage isn't entirely about love. For me, anyway, I don't think that's what it's
But can
really about.
you marry someone that you don't love?
Yes.
You
People get
personally,
married.
but I'm
Oh, me
no,
no.
I know
I
out
don't. I don't believe in marriage. I mean, me personally, it's not some. I don't think I could see myself marrying someone I'm not in love with. But what happens if circumstance happens? Like I always said, I wouldn't have children out of wedlock. I would want to be married to someone before I have kids.
okay, yeah.
So in that scenario, if I'm pregnant with somebody, then I would consider marriage with that person, whether I love them or not. Does that make sense?
That
So I
makes sense.
can see how that happens.
That makes sense.
Just because we're married doesn't mean just because they're married doesn't mean they're actually in love.
I'm at that point.
And
Anyone
I
who wants
think
to be
there's
a kid, I'm with it. But nah.
no there's no way for me. I'm not.
uh, nah, I get it. But I do see how people can marry without being with them. Like I've known people that got married for money
Yeah.
or for the person's citizenship and they pay them like that. Um, but that sucks. Like I don't know. I still believe in the old way of like finding
It's
the person.
the thing is I don't think believing in the old way versus the reality of today,
Is there a
right?
comment? I don't know. I can't see though.
No.
Oh,
Um I got you if it was. I just think that the world has changed so much, and the concept of what we believe in the old way, we're comparing it to what we may have seen the success of grandparents or great grandparents,
yeah.
when ideally most of them stay together maybe because she couldn't work and she had to take care of kids, or financially it worked because there was no other alternative, or the women didn't have the option to leave because of certain things.
Yeah.
There was usually something that kept them there, and it wasn't all perfect. I don't think anyone can sit here and tell me that their marriage for 20, 30 years was just perfect.
I don't
It's
know.
work. It's
Marriage is
work.
perfect. It takes
Yeah.
two people to actually put the work in.
Yeah.
Regardless of you're not gonna always like the person. Like you might hate the way they snore, if they could be sloppy sometimes, if
Hmm.
who knows, whatever, right? People have little things about them that could be annoying, right? But you learn to love them through those things, and it's all about communication. What happens too, I think though, finance is a big stress in marriages, and sexual keeping the sex alive, I feel, are the two things that really kill it, in
Do
my
you
opinion.
think? I think there's more about men. I think in today's world, it's less and less of a reason for them to even want to get married. They lose everything. Like if it doesn't work in a
I mean, if they
divorce, they've got
have
to
kids
pay child
too,
support, alimony, and
yeah,
um, it's a sacrifice. And then now you're stuck with this person, and let's say you do get older and you fall out of love. You could care about this person, but it's difficult to say that you can be in love with this person for so long. people grow, people change,
Yeah.
ideals thing, it's difficult. I don't know how to
You
be able to
gotta have two
maintain that.
people. You have to have two people that are willing to stay strong through that shit,
Yeah.
through the difficult fucking times, especially if you have kids together, right? Because listen, women go through postpartum, right? And then you're not
Mhm.
happy about your body. You can't have sex for a while, right? Then now you're busy with a baby. And now in these times, both parents have to work, right? So now you have
Mhm.
to then pay for daycare. Daycare is like a whole other rent. So now you have that stress, like, all right, now we got to pay this. Both of us have to work. You come home, you're tired. And majority of the times, the wife doesn't want to have sex. Now becomes an issue. Right now, the guy
Because
feels like, oh, I tried. She doesn't want it. I hear this a lot.
yeah.
Like, she doesn't want to. She's tired. She's with the kids all day. Blah, blah. Right. She doesn't even fix herself up anymore. Now they're not attracted to their wife now. Now that what happens opens the door to infidelity.
Yeah, and that's the number one reason for divorce.
Yeah. That's crazy. I feel like even though you're tired, you still got to take care of each other,
Mhm.
right? Throw on
No, here's the thing.
mascara.
To a certain extent, I would like, ideally, in a perfect world, to have someone who's understanding enough and understands there's a balance. And if you see that
Yeah.
I'm this tired, then maybe you should help me pick up some of the slack in the household,
Oh yeah, 100%.
right?
Yeah.
Consideration goes a long way. My thing is, don't just whip out your dick because you're horny. I don't give a fuck. How about you show me you care about me? How about you say, put your feet up, babe, I got you. Right? Put your feet up. Let
Yeah.
me do the dishes now.
There
Let me
are
do
men
this.
like that
And
somewhere.
if you ain't getting that reciprocation, then I promise the men who's complaining about not getting sex is because you're not doing enough, bro.
I could agree with that. Yeah.
Because
I
the
can.
thing is, women appreciate those little things. I think that's the problem. The men get upset because they're no longer the focus. The child is, right?
Yep.
And
Yep.
then they're not getting the sexual aspect, but they're forgetting about the biggest thing. It's you. If you want this, then show more, do
Yeah.
more,
Get up in the middle of
because
the night
we
with her.
reciprocate that.
Go feed the baby, change the baby.
Yeah.
Use lose sleep too.
Yeah. If I'm
Yeah.
too tired, then obviously you're not doing enough.
Clean, do the dishes, take the laundry, whatever.
Make make the weight a little bit lighter for me,
Yeah.
please. Because you got the energy to fuck. I don't. So there's obviously something wrong here.
That's true. That's true. So men, if you're not getting the pussy at home, there's something you're lacking. Just saying.
Unless she just doesn't like you anymore. And that's a different story.
I mean, oh, should I have a caller? I think we do. Hold on a second.
All right, go check it out. You got to remember to grab the phone first.
TV.
You got to remember to grab the phone first before we get
No, I
started. We
just
have to
damn
grab
it.
the phone first.
Sorry.
We got to remember to
Audio.
do that.
Yeah.
No, yeah. If
Uh,
we had a caller, you can call back. Call back.
Yeah, call back, call back. I was shocked, like what? But yeah, you gotta help each other, right? Like,
Mhm.
but two, what happens is like pregnancies change women's bodies too, and their mental.
Mhm.
They're not the same, and sometimes it lasts a long time, the postpartum, and it's serious. And what happens is a lot of men don't have a full understanding of postpartum.
Yeah.
They're like, oh my god,
But
why?
they don't care to know either.
Yeah.
It
So
doesn't affect them, so why should they know? That's the problem. If you don't care enough to find out, then there's a bigger issue there. And
mhm.
most men, not all, I'm not saying all men, but there are a lot of inconsiderate people. Let me not just say men, men
Yeah.
and women. There's a lot of inconsideration.
Yeah.
And that's the honest truth. And if you don't care to figure it out, then that's the bigger problem. It's not about the actions that are not being done, it's the reasoning behind it.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. And it's fucked
Yeah.
up. I think that's one of my fears. If I ever am blessed to have a kid, it's like, damn, like, will that really happen?
I love how you phrased that just now.
Oh,
She said, if I'm ever blessed to have a kid, bitch, a blessing? I'm sorry. What? No, I'm just joking. I know I'm not, I don't hate kids. I don't hate kids.
you know,
However,
If it don't happen in 2 years, that's a dub.
Bruh, the older I get, the less I want it, and it's looking like never for me. Because I don't want. I was watching Chelsea Handler. You know who Chelsea Handler is?
Chelsea Handler. Chelsea Handler. Name sounds familiar.
She's this white comedian, older woman, but she used to have her own show late. I think it was on Comedy Central. I can't recall, but she's been guest appearing on the Daily Show recently,
Mhm.
and she made a montage or comedic video about being an older woman with no children, right? And saying how her value seems to be so much less because she doesn't have to have a screaming kid. Well, you're welcome for not having an extra screaming kid on the airplane. And you're welcome because I don't have to get up and do this and do this. I can sleep till fucking 12 o'clock if I want to. Like, it was a really funny montage. And where her life is so much less valuable because she doesn't have a kid, and she talked about all the things she can do and made it sound like it was a bad thing but it was great kind
Yeah.
of thing.
Yeah.
And a lot of the Republicans on the Fox News had a shitload to say about it. I gotta send you the video, but
Really? I gotta see this.
yeah,
I gotta
yeah,
see this.
I'll send you the video.
I mean, it is true. Like, if I want to fucking pick up in the middle of the night and go out, I can.
Yeah.
And everything else. But
I mean, there's a certain level of freedom with it, right? At the
Yeah.
same time, I mean, I was also a stepmom for many years, so there's also a certain level of fulfillment with having kids. So I'm not gonna say, it's a bad thing that you have children. That's not what I'm saying, ladies. More power to you. God bless you and your blessings.
it's
But for me, I don't really care much.
yeah, like even when I'm with my niece, it's you have that fulfillment feeling, right? Like
Hmm.
when you're watching their milestones and watching
Yeah.
them grow and learn things from you and be their own character, and it's just a great energy to be around,
Yeah.
right? Um, but then at the same time, I do think about that, like, I could just pick them and go whenever. If I want to go out and chill with whoever, I could. Um,
The certain
no,
level, there's a certain level of
I
freedom
see
that
both. I see both sides.
I see both sides, absolutely. And you do what's best for you.
Yeah,
Always,
see both.
and I'm not going to speak for anyone else for that. I can only talk about for me. I was fortunate to experience a level of motherhood in my life, and I don't regret a second of it. I'm still very, very much involved in my stepkids' lives, and
Mhm.
that's never going to change, even if I'm not in a relationship with their father, right? And that's another thing when I'm just going to backpedal a little bit there because when people get married with or go in a relationship with someone who has children, like, for some reason, women expect men to take on this role of daddy to their children, the one that are not theirs. They
I think
expect them to be there. Then these men take on that responsibility of stepdaddy to these women kids. But women don't do the same for men. If you're a reason
I've
why
seen
that man
that.
don't see his kids, you're the problem. If you
I've seen
treating
that.
these kids as
Mhm.
anything less than yours, then you're a problem. And men shouldn't
Absolutely.
be accepting that. Why is it okay
Mhm.
for a woman to expect a man to be daddy number two, but you're not willing to be mommy?
Automatically,
Like,
automatically, they're like, "Oh, that's your kids too."
yeah, no, it's crazy to me.
Wasn't at a huh?
What you said?
No, I seen a comment.
No.
Never mind. It was weird.
Okay.
Hey, everyone tuning in.
But
Live.
I'm watching it. So I just think that in marriage, in a relationship, there are certain things that come along with it. And if you're not comfortable with also taking that person and everything they come along with, then maybe you shouldn't be with that person.
And then that goes to what happens if you don't like their kids. Because I've heard this when they're like, "Yo, I
And
can't."
that's sad.
These kids are like, they'll say some wild shit about it. I'm like,
Women are fucked up when it comes to that for real.
what?
Yeah, it's
Uh, depending on, and then it depends on the age too of how much they'll be complaining about it, because it is harder if you're stepping into someone's lives and their kids are like teenagers.
I can
It'd be
understand the
difficult,
difficulty.
yeah, to build a relationship, but you don't be out here talking shit about someone else's kids. Like, and if you don't like them, then that means how are you going to continue this relationship?
Right.
How are you going to marry
Uh,
them?
yeah. Yeah, because those kids is for life. Those kids
Yeah,
ain't going nowhere, bro.
exactly.
Like, what are you doing, girl?
You can't
And
pick it.
that's crazy. We got a comment.
Uh-huh.
I'm so dumb says age makes a big difference too. It absolutely does. Age makes a big
Yeah.
difference on the kids that you're taking on. Um, obviously, the younger, the easier it is because they're just excited. They're just kids.
Yeah.
Teenagers may have more attitude, but they have attitude with every adult. And then adult children, I mean, they're adults. A
It's
toddler
bringing
is more accepting than a
a burned
12-year-old.
out.
Absolutely. He said a toddler is more accepting than a 12-year-old.
Yeah.
Very true. However, my point was more so the disparity or the difference where men take on the role more easier or more susceptible or
Yeah,
expected
because they're
to
like, all right, I'm
than
gonna
women.
marry you. That means I'm marrying your kids too. Like this is a package.
Yeah.
Or I have seen it. What you're saying about like the woman's like, no, they got a mom. Or I'm like, what? But if you're
No, what
marrying this man,
I don't even know how to tell you how many times because being a stepmom for the years that I was in it and the involvement that I still have, it's always you're better than me because I would never.
yeah,
They're
like I don't get
kids.
that.
My relationship with those children don't my relationship with their father don't define my relationship with those children. They're just kids.
Yeah, I don't.
Yeah.
That's fucked up.
Yeah.
That's somebody I wouldn't even trust around them kids.
That's the
Yeah,
thing. That's the double standard that it baffles my mind because it's like, but you want somebody to be daddy to your kids.
yeah.
It's crazy. And if and women out there who are preventing men to be around their kids, he's just as dumb and you're an asshole because that's crazy. That's
I really hate
crazy.
that when women hold their kids back, unless you have a valid reason, because other things happen. But if
Right.
there's no reason and the dad is a good person and wants to be involved, like what
Yeah.
do you? Because you're bitter. Come
Yeah.
on.
It's bitter men and women.
Yeah. So that's not right either. Uh,
Hmm.
and it's a package. If you want to marry someone, you're marrying their kids too. And
Marriage is work.
that goes to what happens if you don't get along with their family? Are you still marrying them? Because you're not only marrying them, you're marrying their family.
Yeah, you're marrying into a family, and if you don't like them, that causes more problems. Like I could understand you may not always get along. I can understand things
Yeah.
happen, but at the end of the day, they're still family, right?
Mm.
And you can't make those choices. Like if I don't talk to my family, I don't talk to my family. But I'll be damned if a man tell me what to do, right? And
Yeah.
vice versa.
Yeah.
I don't know.
It's
That's my opinion. Yeah.
but I think it does make it difficult because what if okay, you marry a guy, right? And let's say he has mother and sisters and they don't like you for whatever reason.
They don't gotta like me.
Yeah, you don't have to. You got to respect anyway, right?
Yeah.
But I feel like it just takes away a little bit from it or dampers it a little bit because it sucks, right? You're still gonna marry
I mean,
him.
I would want his mama to like me. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm one of those females that the mama will always compare every other chick
Same.
to.
Shout out to y'all. 'Cause we have friends on
And I like being that girl because there's once they meet me, I'm the one that no one's gonna be better than. So I
same.
like that role.
I actually some of my ex's mothers still follow me. Shout out to y'all. Love y'all. Always.
Yep.
But it's true. That
Yeah.
is we'll always still have a good place. And I think it is important. That's why I think it sucks if the family doesn't like them or vice versa when they're like, I don't like that man for you, blah blah blah. And you're like, I'm still gonna marry him.
Yeah.
It causes some
I think also see if you're getting into a marriage for the wrong reasons, a lot of times people will do it out of spite, and
but you
that's
just
just
get
not
married for the
healthy.
wrong reason. Yeah.
Yeah.
'Cause
Yeah, and don't be surprised when it don't work. Like this is why divorce is so high. People don't spend the time to get to know people. People don't. My thing is, I don't know. Marriage just ain't worth it for me. It just isn't worth it.
no,
Just
it I
isn't worth it.
think that if somebody came along and swept you off your feet and it was like the real deal, I think you'd be for it.
I mean,
I think so.
it'll take some time,
If it
but
was
I don't have to be married to feel connected to you. I'm okay with a common law. I understand the need for it in
yeah,
certain
but then
circumstances, maybe
yeah,
for
that's what
like
I was gonna say.
with medical stuff and
Yeah.
decisions, or if something happened to one of us. I get that. But again, for me, marriage is literally a business deal.
Hmm.
It's a business. Why I gotta sign a contract?
I mean, I don't look at it as a contract.
It's a contract. A marriage certificate is a
I don't look at
contract,
it
bro. All
as a contract. I look at
right,
it
go
as,
ahead.
all right, you're sealing. It's a sealed paper that is just showing your eternal connection with each other.
But do I need a paper to do that?
You don't need the paper,
Right.
but it's how it comes in handy when, like you said, like some if God forbid something medical happens or anything serious happens or God forbid one of them passed away, you want your partner to be taken care of because if you're not married, nothing goes to you. It goes
Common law
to
marriage works
it not
in
when
New York State.
in New York State, so you're able to send your benefits over if it's common law.
That's a good question. I don't know the details on it. I'll find out. Hold on, we got a comment. We got a comment. So I'm so dumb says marriage has lost its meaning through society. It used to be about more about meaningful things. Now many people marry for security.
It
Um,
used to be more meaningful. Absolutely.
I think there was a time when it was, but that's not what it originated about. People who got married didn't have a choice in who they married. That's where it originated from. It was
And some cultures
the
still follow
purpose.
that to this day.
A lot of cultures still
Yeah.
follow that. Absolutely. But it's more marriage was the intent of tying two families for financial or political reasons or things of that nature to they would arrange their children to be married off into a certain situation
Yeah.
or you would pay a dowry. It's more of a business transaction than anything else. That's the origination of marriage. So the idea of it being more meaningful didn't come for to years much later. And even then, I don't think that lasted very long because it was more of out of convenience than anything else. We'd like it to be more meaningful. We'd like it to
Yeah,
be
I
more
want to be like
emotional.
our older generation, the old generation, like
The older generation was through obligation.
but they stayed together a long time.
Right, because you learn to
Ooh,
love
bullshit.
someone, you learn to build with
And that's
someone,
the thing. I feel
and
like
they
now,
stay connected.
yeah,
And
but I feel
there's
like
things
now
that you
people are
work
like,
on
all right, I'm out. Like you can't treat a marriage like a relationship. You can't just break up whatever and be like, all right, we get back together. No.
because the expectations change. Absolutely. I agree with that. If I decide to get married, you're with me for life,
Yeah.
right?
It's a serious thing. Regardless of whatever happens, you work through it. Like you're saying, like the older generation, they had a lot of shit happen. But you see these couples 50 years, 60 years married, no matter. Oh, you know what's
But here's
crazy?
the thing, the biggest thing that why people get divorced is infidelity.
Yeah, it is.
70% of marriages, I think I looked this up the other 70% of women initiate the divorce, and the number one reason is because of infidelity. He cheated.
70%.
70%
Hey,
of
yo, what
marriages
the
only,
fuck?
no, 70% of marriage divorces are initiated by women. Women are the first ones to choose a divorce.
Yeah, that's a big
And the
percentage.
number one reason, I didn't get the percentage of that, the number one reason is infidelity.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that.
So it's
And yo, now that we're on this
okay.
brings this up because I'm American Idol fan. I don't know who doesn't watch anymore, but I do. And there's a new season, so I was just watching
Wait, American what?
American Idol.
Oh, I haven't watched that in years.
Oh my god, I love it. I love American Idol.
Okay.
And so one of the contestants, there's 2 episodes for this season so far, and one of the contestants, he was raised by his grandparents, right?
Mhm.
Check this out, y'all about to be mind blown. Raised by his grandparents,
I'm waiting.
and his grandparents together years, like 50 years, right? His mom was a drug addict. You don't know where his dad is. His grandparents raised him, very involved with him, had him do a lot of experiences as a kid, right? He had a really good childhood. His grandma passed away, I think 2 or 3 years ago, right?
Oh.
Which was very hard. And he said that his grandfather didn't even speak to no one, didn't even speak to him for over a year.
Yeah, he's losing his partner.
Complete-
His partner
yeah,
life.
right?
Yeah.
And he then talks to his grandson and tells him why he hasn't spoken. Bro, he had like a really good friendship with his wife, right? And she knew everything about him. And he told her how he was gay.
What?
Yes, he was gay. And that she accepted it and stayed married with him for all this time. And of course, so when she passed, like literally losing his best friend. And then he had to like come to or get the strength to come out and talk publicly. And he was on the American Idol show and he was like, yeah, like now I'm proud to say like I am gay. Bro.
So you're telling me how long were they married for?
Long time, like 50 something, 50, like I want to say like
So
50.
that entire time he's married to this woman, she knew he was gay. She stayed
Yeah.
married to him. She passes. He's devastated. He lost his best friend.
Yeah.
And it's because
nobody else knew this, right? So now he's living
man.
with
Would you okay, so if someone tells you with them 30 years, right? You raise kids together, you guys would you stay with someone who tells you I'm gay?
Okay. If we
like
already
I'm thinking
together,
about the situation, right?
Yeah, that's why I said you're gonna be mind blown because I was like in my screen, like
I'm like really thinking about the situation because
yeah.
Then our relationship is no longer sexual.
I don't know.
It's a best friend for me.
But who knows? I don't know the deets, but you can tell like that was literally his heart because he was still crying about it even on American Idol and he was and I don't know the details of it. Like what were they sexual? Was she okay with him, being out there? I mean, if that was me, let's say if I was married to somebody and it's been a long time already, we have a kid and they come out and say like this is what I've been struggling with, like this is who I am and I'm gay. I think because I'm bisexual, I'll be open to like, okay, this is new. Let's figure this out together. Like I wouldn't be like, oh my god, it's over. No, I can't say that. I can't lie.
I'm so Don says through better or for worse.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I get that. I
wouldn't be like, oh my god, it's a wrap. No, I can't.
Yeah, no, I can't say that either. I think it would really depend.
Yeah, I mean, I would say, all right, let's figure this out. We'll figure this out together. I would want to see like, okay, do you feel like you need to fulfill your needs with that, or do you need to experiment? Like it would go there. And the fact that I take marriage so seriously.
Hold on, time out. He said, I mean, me personally, I'm out. LOL.
So if your wife came out and said that she likes women, you're out?
That's it? He needs to clarify.
Answer. I need to know. Like, let's just say you're married, right? And all of a sudden she's like, I like women.
After 30 years with 30, it depends on when it is. Like, if it's a 5-10 year situation, right? I'm still young. I'm still this. And there's certain goals and things that I want out of a relationship. Will I waste my time staying married to a man who doesn't like women?
Because you fell in love with him and you married him.
I could be his best friend. We don't got to be married.
But you married
I'd rather find someone, right? But the man is telling you he's gay, bro. Like, he don't like women.
But you're already married.
So I could get married to somebody else. This is why the concept of marriage, bro, I don't know. I don't know how that works. Because, I mean, 30, 40 years together, I get it.
If he wants to share your life. Yeah. No, it broke me. I was so sad for him. I was like,
yeah.
And the contestant, right? That you gotta. Oh man, you gotta find the clip. The song he sang was an original he wrote about his grandpa, and the song was.
I'm gonna look it up. I'm gonna look it up. Damn, and it's on American Idol, right?
Yes. He sang so good. It was so sad, and the grandpa cried. Basically, like grandpa, like why didn't you open up to me sooner? Like why were you holding this pain for so long? Something like
that's
that.
That's what the song is?
Anybody watching, please. Yes, he wrote it himself. And that's what he's saying there for his audition.
Okay. I'm going to check it out. Because I think I found it. I can play it in the YouTube.
Oh, yeah. Anybody want to listen? Oh, let's play it. Yes.
Hold on. Let me
goes exactly to our topic. Like, married for so long. Like, are you really for death do us part or are you not? And she was. Shout out to her. Like now that she's passed, but that's love.
Shout out to her.
You know what I mean? Like that, like really touched my heart. And I'm like, you know what? Like, there's still real love out there somewhere.
I
If I
get
don't
okay.
keep
I'm
I'm
not saying
myself,
I'm not
married.
saying I'm not saying that that's not love, right? But I don't have to stay married to you for me to love you if I know you don't want that kind of thing.
You don't think that's love? The fact of staying in the marriage, regardless.
That
I
is love. I
I
can
think
still
that
love you, but that doesn't mean I have to stay married to you. Does that make sense? Like the thing is it's again, if it was 30, 40, 50 years in, I don't care. I'm probably not fucking you anyway right now, right? But I'm probably like my shit's dried up. I don't care, right? But at
nah,
the
you gotta
same
be still
time,
fucking until your shit is dusty. Fuck out of here. Nah, I'm joking.
the thing is, if I'm still young, if they're still like, all right, I want you to be happy. I want you to pursue what you need to pursue. But do I want to invest my life into committing to that,
But you
knowing
already committed
this?
to him.
No, hold on. I committed to an idea of him before he told me he was gay, bro.
But what if this is 20
He's
years in?
20 years. That's a
How?
conversation we need to have because then it's an open marriage. I'm gonna do me, you do you, and we have a business deal.
That's how
This is where
things
that
work.
business deal comes in.
Yeah, I could see that.
Hold on. We got a comment.
Uh-huh.
I'm so dumb says marriage also has a lot of religious stipulations. So some people who really stand on their religion don't want to break those vows. Which makes
Yeah,
sense. Which makes
yeah.
sense.
I'm not from religious point, but for me, I take marriage very seriously. That once I say I do, I do.
I understand that. And if I'm gonna get into a marriage, that's the ideal behind it. Absolutely, right?
All right. So let's say they didn't know that they were gay when you got married, and then all of a sudden they started having these different feelings, and then it comes
Then
out 20 years in.
that's a problem. See, this is what I'm talking about. You meet the pretender. The no
20
one
years
should
pretending?
that you just proved my point about the pretender, my nigga. Like,
Nah,
no.
you can't pretend for that long. There's no way.
People pretend their whole lives. Look
Eh.
at Bruce Jenner. I mean, Caitlyn Jenner.
I mean, she said though that she had those feelings for a long time.
But did not say anything till much, much
Well,
older.
yeah, because
She pretended her entire life. You know what I mean?
I feel like she
Oh,
still wanted her kids, and I think that's why she let it rock until she wasn't comfortable anymore in her own skin, and then was like, all right, I need to change. Oh, I lost you on the stream. I don't know what happened. Yeah, it booted you out, I guess. Yeah, gonna have to come back in, and then when you come back in, we play that clip for everybody because you got to see this. Like, hold on, only because I can't really hear you, but now. We gotta watch this clip to see, like, cause. All right. Yeah, that's sorry. When technical difficulties, it happens. It's okay. Val's on the live, but she's gonna come back hop on the stream again, and I don't know what happened. That was odd. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. Oh, okay.
no.
Slow down. Yes, there you go.
All right. My bad. All right, let me try to look for this video.
Everyone, oh my goodness, on the Instagram live, go hop to YouTube to our page TV. We're live right now, so you can see the video that I'm talking about.
American Idol.
Go type in
Grandfather.
T.E.A.V on YouTube. Come on right now. You got to see this. To our topic, right? Like, how much are you really dedicated to your partner? If this was to happen, Val be out. We already know.
Oh yeah, I mean, I don't know if I could ever. It's tough.
I
It's
was
tough.
literally shocked. I was shocked. But I was like, this is beautiful. Like, that was the other part of me. Like, oh my God.
She said, "This is beautiful." An original song of love and courage for Grandpa Ray by John Wayne.
Yeah,
Is
Ray.
Hartfield?
Yes.
Is that what it is? Is
Yes.
that's the right one?
Yes.
All right, share screen. Hold on,
Hop on the
let's
YouTube, everybody. Hop on the YouTube.
pause this real quick. Let me go to share, select window or screen. What?
We're learning as we go, guys. So, but I need
Allow.
everyone to see this.
Let me know if
Oh,
you can
okay.
hear it.
Oh, you can share, and I could still see
Yeah.
you. Okay, cool.
You can hear it?
No.
Can you hear anything?
No. Not yet.
I'm trying to.
Maybe you have to mute yourself and then put this on there. Maybe you have to mute yourself and then put the sound there. I don't know. I never did that before, so.
I've never done this. Hold on. It's not letting me play it. It's weird. Is that what I got to do?
Or just put us in the background and play it like the song. Sorry, guys. Bear with
The
us
song
1
itself?
second, but this clip is so important. Yeah.
All right. Let me see if I can figure this out. Share screen. Entire screen.
We'll get it. We'll get it.
What?
Yes. Yeah. See? This is why I need everyone to see it. I couldn't believe it.
Why?
And he dressed swaggy. He got a swag. It's not gonna play.
This one.
It's okay. I still hear you. Oh, now not no more on the stream. But no worries. We tried, guys. But if you want to see the clip, look for Grandpa Ray on American Idol, where the grandson writes a song for him for coming out after being married for so long. Oh, we lost her. She'll be back. She'll be back. She'll be back. It's okay. Anyone listening, you can look it up on YouTube, Grandpa Ray, how the grandson writes a song for him. And you will hear the story about how they were married and he came out. Beautiful story. It's all right. It knocked you out. Everyone listening everywhere, thank you for keeping patient with us. I don't know what's happening with the service. That I was gonna hop back on. But yeah, it's really interesting. You gotta watch it on your own time. Everybody else watch it on when you have time. It was beautiful song. Beautiful. Loved it. And it was an emotional story. That was like really meaningful marriage, I would say. But yeah, I wish people took their marriage that serious nowadays. I was saying before, if it don't happen for me, like I was legit, but like I'm about to put myself on Married at First Sight. Fuck it. Fill out the application. You ever watch the TV show? All right, see you coming on. There it is.
All right. I want to try it one more time because I think I know what I gotta do.
All right, we're gonna try one more time, guys.
I'm gonna try this one more time.
Anyone
If it
here
bumps
watching
me out
Married at
again,
First Sight, write in the comments. I love that show, or Love Is Blind.
if it bumps me out again, then we asked out.
All right.
Entire screen, allow.
I forget who told me they were gonna put me on Love Is Blind. Oh, my
You can see
homegirl.
it?
I can see it.
Can you hear it? Can you hear it?
No.
No?
No.
All right.
You
I
might
can't
have
get it to play
off
the sound.
your headphones.
I can't get it to play the sound. because I can hear it, but it won't play the sound.
We got to figure it out another time then. Sorry, everybody watching. We got to figure it out for y'all. So if we ever want to show you something that we're talking about, we'll know how to do it.
I'll
But
figure it out.
you can look it up on your own time on the YouTube. Grandpa Ray. Shout out to Grandpa Ray.
I'm gonna check it out because it's an interesting concept. I personally, I don't think I could ever. I don't think I could ever. For real.
Yeah, I mean that's
a
okay.
lot.
Nothing wrong with that. That not everybody would be for it.
Like to stay with someone. First of all, how much money he makes is a factor. How much I love him is a factor.
What have you?
Whether or not it works out for me is a factor. Like, am I allowed to do what I want to do? Can I have a relationship outside of it? Like, there's different factors that would cause me to actually stick into that in that situation.
Yeah, everyone listening. So if you're just tuning in, where I was bringing up a story I watched on American Idol about these. We were talking about old couples that stayed together a long time. They were together a long time. The wife ends up passing away, and the husband came out and said how he was gay, and she knew about it. And would you stay or would you not? I would. God would it. I wonder what Eva would say.
I can't see myself. I can't. That's tough, bro. Like it would depend on where I am in my life. If I was young, I don't see myself staying in that marriage. I would probably respectfully divorce and stay best friends with him because I will always love him, right? And then find someone that I could be in love with and would be in love with me. Does that make sense?
No, I get it.
Why would I stop an opportunity for me to find that just because I love that you came to me and told me. I wish you would have figured that shit out sooner.
Yeah.
But it literally changes so much. Absolutely. I'm so dumb says I wouldn't because it literally changes so much. It's the whole dynamic of the relationship, what I got into.
Yeah, I think it's like I said. I think it's different for me because I'm open to a lot of things. So I'll be open to it. Like, oh, okay. I feel like you said something I didn't hear you.
Probably. I think I froze for a bit.
You're good.
For a bit. Okay.
Yeah. I mean, it just all depends. Not everybody's for it, and that's cool. It's something. It's a big thing, a big change. But it was a touching story. I liked the story. I was like, oh man.
I'm sure. I mean, it's just it's a lot. That's asking for a lot. It's asking for a lot. Like I'm like, nah. I don't know. It really would depend on where I am, where that relationship is, if it's even worth holding on to. I mean, I don't have to be with you to still love you and still be my best friend.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So why would I stop myself from being able to have a more intimate, loving relationship with someone who isn't?
Think looking at it, for me, I think not stopping yourself, but it's just like agreeing to then adjust a kind of lifestyle because like you said, who knows? They could have had an open relationship where she does her thing, he does his thing, and come home and it's whatever.
Right, but that's where conversation needs to be had. And that's
of course
tough.
Yeah, you definitely have to work through the little details, but who knows? Well, shout out to Grandpa
For that,
Ray.
why get married, bro? Like, nah, shut up. Nah, I'm sorry, Grandpa Ray, you're selfish. No, I mean, the thing is, Grandpa Ray should have figured that out before he got married. Honestly.
But that's what I'm saying. Sometimes people are not sure. Sometimes they may like. I'm just gonna. I'm gonna tell you what I think.
No, you just don't want to face it. No.
I'm
not sure.
All right, let's say you randomly have these feelings, right? And then you're like, what the fuck? Like, why am I attracted to them? Or, is it just a thought? And then it's like a mental process within yourself. Like, do I act on this? Like, why am I aroused seeing this, or being around the same gender or whatever it might be, right? It's not like,
I mean, I can't talk about something I don't know about, right? My experience is not there, so I don't know the thought process for someone who's trying to figure that out. More power to you. I know it's not easy. But personally, I think you know. And from my experience of everyone who I know who is in the community, they
yeah,
know. They know.
yeah. I knew when I was young,
Yeah.
but
Grandpa Ray's selfish. Sorry. I'm sure it's a sweet story and it's a nice song because American Idol knows how to make it sound so sweet. But
fire. I liked it. And
yeah, no, I'm sure. I'm sure.
It was a touching.
I'm gonna watch it.
It was a touching.
I'm gonna watch it. I love the auditions. The auditions is the best part of American Idol.
Don't forget tomorrow. It's on there.
Somebody laughing, but it's true. It's true.
Mm-hmm.
All right, let me get back to. Let me see. Did we cover everything?
Okay, so let's just say you're married, right? Like,
okay.
How would you look at your marriage? Do you feel like if you were married, will you be like, let's just say old school, like cooking every day for your husband, clothes? Yeah, like
to a certain extent, not entirely. This is a partnership. And if I work a same shift just like you work, my job isn't less valuable than yours. We both work, then we both do household stuff. However, if you work and I don't work, then my job is the household.
Oh, I absolutely agree with that part.
Yeah. Yes. And I would appreciate any of the help that you're giving. But that means the money comes to me. I manage everything. I make this household a home. That's the dynamic for me to accept staying at home and my man bringing the bacon home, as the saying, right? Then I'm running the money. I'm running our budget. I'm taking care of everything. Everything. I'm the backbone of it, right? And I feel like I would be able to turn that into an empire. That's my job because I don't work. But if we both work and we both pay bills and we both do this, I may not. I think the person who pays the most, who makes the most, takes majority. Obviously, I don't expect someone who's making 40, 30K a year to pay the same amount of someone who's making 80 or 90K a year. That's unfair. However, I think that if I'm contributing, we both contributing to the household. And I would, if I wasn't contributing, and my job is the household, I would love it if you did anything extra for me. It'd be appreciated, but that would be my job.
Okay, so what if you both work, right? But he didn't want you to pay anything.
Nah, you see, my money will still be for us. This is a partnership. If we're married, you're talking about a marriage?
Yeah. Right? I'm saying
I don't have to pay, and he doesn't want me to pay any bills in the household?
No.
Okay. So then the money that I have is savings. This will be for our vacations. This would be for our stuff. And I'm going to treat my man just like he takes care of me. It's ours because he's taking care of me.
True.
I'm not saying I'm going to be a fool and give everything, but I'm not retarded, right? But I would give. It's reciprocation. I mean, if my man is telling me, baby, I got you. You don't got to worry about a thing. And if you want to work, you want to work.
Mm-hmm.
But then the household is also still both of us because I'm working.
Got it.
My job isn't less than yours. What do you think? Gender roles. How you feel about that?
Where I think I see a comment there. You can read the comment first.
Let me see. I'm Saddam says I can cook. I'm not just gonna have her cook for me. I know how to wash clothes. I'm not just gonna wash the dishes. We all doing everything. Absolutely. Yeah. It's a partnership. We all doing everything. My thing is, I don't think getting married means I become your mother. It's not what this is about.
I think for me it's a little different only because of like how I grew up and the women in my family. And I think I touched on this before when we talked about our episode with gender roles. Yes, the help is great. Like, both doing things in the house, of course. For me though, I'd probably go the extra mile just because that's already embedded in me. If
Yeah.
that makes sense. Like
I think
waking
that's
up
natural
early,
for us,
making
though.
breakfast, prepping lunch. I'll take out the clothes. Like that's just naturally how I am.
Right.
And I know that's how I'd be in a marriage as well.
Quick
Uh,
question: Who
mhm.
eats first, your man or your kids? Your husband or your kids?
My
Who you
kids,
serving first?
my kids.
Your kids? All right.
Mm-hmm. Take away.
Um, I don't agree with that entirely.
If I think it comes down to also if my kids are young, they're eating first. If they're a little
I understand
older
that.
and he's
I
home
mean,
serving a hot plate, of course, here you go, whatever. But I'm also big on family eating together though, too. So
yeah. I think that's one thing that gets lost in this generation is
you
that
need that.
sit
Like,
down family
yes,
dinners
yes.
it's needed.
Yeah.
But my husband gets his plate first,
Mm.
and
I
I
can
will
see
actually have the kid go serve your father here. You know, put that on the table. Grab your
I don't
plate,
think
put that
that
on the table, kind of
not that
thing.
it's not important, but I think depending on I think it just depends on the details of it. Like are my
Yeah,
kids
it
young
would depend. But
or
if I got an ain't shit man, you know what I mean? You get ain't shit service.
right. You're not even gonna take out, figure it out. Fuck out of here. Um no, but I could see what you mean. I think it just depends on the details for me, like how old my
Yeah,
kids are, the young.
I
But
get
having
it.
a home cooked meal, yes, I'm really big on the family should be eating together. Like you shouldn't have anything at the table. That's when you're talking about your day, connecting, right? Because nobody sees each other all day. Let's say your kids are older, they're in school, you're at work all day,
But
and then you
those are
have that
also
little bit of time
conversations that you
before you
have
go
to
to bed.
have when you're dating, because
Yeah,
those dynamics in a marriage, people don't carry anymore.
yeah,
And if you don't communicate that, and you with someone who doesn't do it or doesn't think that's necessary, doesn't think it's important, then you're marrying someone that you don't know, and it's not going to work.
absolutely. I see. There's a comment there
Mm-mm.
on the YouTube.
On the YouTube, let me see.
Yeah,
Oops, sorry.
no, you're good.
Oh, hey, Aurelis. How are you? Aurelis is one of my friends in the Nerds of the Round. Thank you for joining. She says here, the kids, the kids, because it takes 5 hours for them to finish.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. I get that. Right. It depends. I mean, it also would depend on their age. Like, there's part of the dynamic, as Anna
Yes,
said, like,
they.
definitely that is
Because
a
if they're
a
young, I'd rather get up out the way than sit with my husband and
yeah.
eating while they're playing or whatever.
If they're young, I get it. But I don't know. It also would depend on the dynamic and certain things that impact it.
Hmm.
Um,
But
but
I
if
think
they're
that
a
teaching them
certain
is
age,
like,
like you're helping me set the table, I'm gonna
yeah,
teach you
oh
how to
yeah,
do this.
oh yeah,
Put your father's plate down. Go grab this kind of thing. You really young, then they'll probably get their plate first. But and I think my husband would be the one helping me, making sure the kids eat.
yeah. And
You know
then
what I mean?
at least you'll have your time together. Once they're done, then you eating it together, right?
Yeah.
Talk about your day, connect.
Then when they're old and out the house, it's just me and him. Get the fuck out, you know, kind of thing.
There you
So
go.
yeah.
Yeah, but I am the more old school and nurturing type. I think acts of service is one of my love languages, and it just makes me happy just doing things for people. That's
Mm.
that's just how I am.
I get that. I think my experiences have made the acts of service limited.
Because yeah, I can see why. Yeah.
I think that to a certain extent, like I wouldn't mind doing it if I've got the right man to do it for, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
At the same time, it's earned, not expected. That's how I feel. You really, if you in control, you're doing what you gotta do as a man, don't
Yes.
then you'll get certain
For me,
things, right?
I be myself in the beginning, right? I show you who I am. I'm nurturing. I'm catering to you. Once you start doing some fuck shit, that's a wrap. I'm not doing it now. Fuck out of here. I'm not. I feel
But you just said that's part of marriage. You work through
if,
it and you
if
gotta
I'm
stick
married,
around.
if I'm married, then I gotta figure it out, and we gotta talk about that because I'm not fit. But I'm saying in relationships, in past relationships, like
Yeah.
that's me automatically off jump.
Hmm.
Um, and it will stop if some fuck shit happens, and it's like I do all this for you because I care, and obviously you don't care enough. So what the fuck I'm gonna do this shit for you? No.
Right. It's reciprocation. That's one of the things that I feel like tends to die out the longer you're with someone, where people forget what got them there in the first place.
Yeah.
Consideration goes
I
such a
fell
long
in
way
love
with
with
me.
the what you showed me in the beginning.
The
What
pretender.
makes
This is
you
why I
think
said
that
getting married too soon.
I mean, sometimes you hear these stories like, "Oh, we just met, I just fucking got married, then been together mad years."
Yeah, those stories are far and few in between. This is not real life for everyone because this is why annulments exist.
True.
Facts.
True. But
What about big weddings? How do you feel about big weddings?
I feel like when you have huge, let me disclaimer, anyone listening, this is just my own opinion. Whatever you do, totally fine. But for me, um, I just feel like it's a waste of money when you're spending so much money. Like you could take the money and take a trip, right? I personally would
What's
like
what's a limit that you think is excessive? What's anything over what
excessive
amount?
over 30K is excessive.
Over 30K is excessive. Okay.
Because I've seen beautiful weddings at 25K, 20K. Like even I mean, you could even do something really beautiful less than that. But I'm not trying to I don't pass any judgment whatsoever. I think the over there is just excessive because you are paying, right, for people to spend your day with you. Sometimes you don't even talk to half the people that are fucking there uh throughout the rest of the years, right?
Hmm.
Everyone's here on this day and they're eating. Not that you're expecting humongous gifts, but what they're giving you is not going to come close to what you spent, right? So
Right.
you're paying for everyone to have a good time that night and then that's it. You go on. And then what?
I
You're
see
you're still
this.
stuck paying all that money, like because people
Right.
put on credit cards or whatever. Um,
Right.
I mean, yeah, granted, you have a great time, you have great memories, all that. I just don't think it has to be that huge. You can take that money and literally like go on a trip that you've never been to before, or that you can spend time with your husband or your wife, and
Yeah,
have
I would
moving
spend
forward.
more on the honeymoon than the actual wedding.
Mhm.
The
Yeah,
actual wedding is just something to celebrate for other people to celebrate.
yeah.
It's more I don't
I
I've
mean, it's great.
again, this goes back
I'm
to, I
sure
mean,
it's
I
a
guess
good
because of
memory.
how I was raised, or just who I am, period. I've never imagined myself getting married anyway, and nor did I ever dream about having a big large wedding.
Mhm.
Um but I don't think anyone should be spending 30, 40, 50 grand on a wedding. If you're a millionaire, more power to you, right? Whatever you want to do makes you happy. But who is the wedding really for? Is it just to say
Mhm.
you got married? Do you really need all of that? If I can put that and invest into a home or a vacation and still
Mhm.
have money left over rather than
All
spend all of that in one day. Mm-mm.
yeah. Like for me, I would want something intimate. Honestly, I think the most money that probably be for my dress. I do want a beautiful dress. But do I need it that big with that many people? No, because I don't even talk to that many people on a daily basis.
Right.
So what are you here
It's
for?
tough. It's tough. I don't think that a wedding should ever be that much money, honestly. It's just,
Yeah.
I don't know. Hello. I think you froze. Yeah, you froze on the live. I see you on the YouTube. It's okay. Uh, yeah. So for those watching, Anna just froze on the in the studio. So, I don't know. We got to figure it out. But essentially, let me just mute this real quick. We're here sitting here talking about marriage. I'm just gonna bullshit until she comes back because I don't know what happened. Yeah. Here we go. Um, expectations. Aurelius, if you're still watching, let me know, what do you feel about women proposing and whether or not that's even ideal. Say that again. Is he fixing it? Jeez Louise. I can hear you on the live, but not in the. She said that's awkward. I could never. You can't hear me? Well, I'm talking to Aurelis on YouTube. I'm talking to Aurelis on the YouTube right now. So, um, yeah, that's awkward. I could never. I don't think I could ever. Like I've seen the videos, and more power to these women who do it. But me proposing to a man, I feel like if he didn't do it yet, it means he doesn't want to. Yeah, I'm not that confident. Neither am I. I'd be so afraid. Um, no, I just think it's tough. That's a tough situation. What about this, Aurelis? Would you ever, if someone was to propose in front of all your friends, family, his friends and family, and you know you didn't want to, are you saying yes out of obligation? Because for me, I was telling Anna earlier, I was like, I would probably say yes because I'd feel obligated, and then later on have a conversation like, not right now, but maybe in the future, or maybe not ever. Because it's tough. That's tough. I would be embarrassed though, and it would feel uncomfortable. And then I'd be like, damn, I don't even know if I see you still in my life next year. I'd say yes in front of everyone and then later say no. That's exactly how I was feeling. Like, I don't think for someone to say no when they're being proposed to, it takes a different level of brashness than ever. It's tough. That I can't even imagine. Like that's hurting someone's feelings. Like in front of everyone, I would totally say yes, and then be like, let's talk when we get home because you just put me in the spot. Did he fix it? Okay. All right. Um. So we are having technical difficulties. I want to thank everybody who did join us on the live and on the YouTube channel. We're going to be on live on the TV on Instagram, but Aurelis, thank you for showing love. I appreciate you. And anybody who hopped in, we're going to cut the live right now because we're having technical difficulties in the studio. But tune in next week, 6 to 8 Eastern Time. We'll have a spicy topic. Don't know what it's going to be yet. And hopefully we can get our shit together. But thank you for showing love. And I will see you guys next week. All right. Take care.